Welcome back for another book talk. It's Fiction Friday, and I want to talk to you about the 2019 Goodreads Best Books winner in the fantasy category. The book is called Ninth House. It is by Leigh Bardugo. I read the book in 2020 as part of a book club, and since then I've seen at least 5 booktubers give videos about this. I will try and give you my own personal spin on what I thought about the book. It is urban, modern, dark academia, and there's a term that I haven't thrown around a whole lot, dark academia. The idea of an academic setting, a school setting that's got something sinister going on. It's urban modern fantasy as well, which before reading this, my main foray into that was the Dresden Files, which I really enjoy. Harry Dresden, of course, being a private detective who is a wizard. In this situation, you've got Alex Stern, who has been recruited to infiltrate secret societies at a major Ivy League campus and determine if any of them are misusing magic. That's right. There are secret societies, which is exciting. There's the idea that the secret societies have access to magic, and the ninth house is the house at the university that polices how that the other 8 houses, the 8 secret societies, are using their magic. So there's a lot going on here. What's really fascinating to me is that Alex Stern's name is actually Galaxy. I think if my name was Galaxy, I would not go by Alex. To each their own. But I think I would definitely go by Galaxy. That sounds so much cooler than, there's nothing wrong with the name Alex. If your name is Alex, then that's awesome. But Galaxy, that's so neat. Galaxy's been through a lot with her past, and one of the ways that Leigh Bardugo proves to be a great writer is by telling this story out of order. The point of view has a ton of flashbacks and time sequential stuff that is enough to confuse any possible reader. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars because the story was so compelling. The prose style was great, but as a reader, I felt like the author was purposely confusing me from the beginning. I mean, you're just smacked with a ton of in-setting terminology that makes this dark academia magical setting work, but it's a lot. And since the author's telling the story out of order and with flashbacks all over the place, it really wasn't necessary. Like, Leigh Bardugo did not have to hit the reader over the head with book 1 of a series being very convoluted and confusing at the beginning, but you stick with it because there's a compelling mystery going on. Though I will admit, part of the surprises and the twists in the story I was able to predict, just because as a reader, when there is strange point of view stuff going on, I often ask myself why. Like, why did the author just cut this scene and go to something else and then take us somewhere else? And I ask myself, what is it that the author either didn't want us to see or skipped over? And that helps me kind of predict some of the little things that happen. But I couldn't predict everything, because there's more than one surprise in this book. There are a lot of elements that come together. As frustrating as it was for me at times, and as much as I was confused some at the beginning, I definitely told myself, I want to keep reading, and I want to read the next book since it is supposed to be part of a series. I have no idea when Leigh Bardugo plans to continue the series, but I know that Leigh Bardugo writes a lot. This was my first Leigh Bardugo book, and that a lot of people highly praised Leigh Bardugo's other books as well for being very entertaining. But I think I might have been part of the ideal audience for this because I love secret society stuff, I love conspiracy stuff, I love magic stuff in the modern urban setting as well. So it all came together really well. One funny thing that happened at book club when we met and discussed the book was someone in the book club talked about how poor Alex probably had imposter syndrome, and then I laughed and joked, well, she is an imposter, so I don't think it's imposter syndrome. Because the way they recruit her, she is not actually the kind of student who would get accepted to an Ivy League school. She doesn't have the grades. She doesn't have the academic preparation. She doesn't have the skills to be a student there, really. But she does have a lot of knowledge of how to deal with things, so she's very good at investigating. There's also an interesting law enforcement officer that she gets to deal with along the way. All right, I think I've said enough. Hopefully you are enticed to want to at least pick up this book. Consider reading it. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Give it a chance and stick with it even when the beginning is very convoluted and a lot to deal with. Every day is a good day for a book talk. Peace.